Bikuti here again. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to design a birthday flyer like this, just exactly like this. Follow me, let's dive deeper. Now, I have my Canva created already, which is no longer a new thing, 2000 by 2000 pixel. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to bring out the images, which I have it here already. This is the pretty damsel's birthday. I also have another one here. So quick one. Okay, I'm just going to drag it back. I'm dragging it back now. Then I'll click on the image. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to go to select, come to subject, give it some little time. Fine, so it has processed everything now, then it has made the selection around it. So I'm just going to click and drag to this particular place where I want to make my design. So I'm going to go back again because I need also this image. So I'm going to do the same thing. Come to select subject. Okay, so that's not the preferred image. So I have this image now. The next thing I'm going to do now is to click on select subject. So now, if you notice, you will see that this part has cut off. So, and we are going to need it. So I will just quickly fix that now. So I'll come to this place, then okay. So what I will just do is I'll pick this, or better still, so just Ctrl Shift and Z, it brings it back. Okay, so what I just did is to click on this add selection so that it can expand the selection, because yeah, I think this is cool like this. So the next thing is I'm gonna move it right like this to that particular area where I want to make the design. So once this is done, I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to turn this off as well. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to bring the background, which is this. I already have everything set, so which is this. I'm going to click and drag. Okay, I can minimize this. I can minimize this. Then I'll make sure I enlarge this like this. Like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna do something like this. So I'll hit OK. I think this is cool. So I'm gonna bring this down below like this. Then I'm gonna lock it up so that it doesn't move around. The next thing is turn this on. Then I'll make sure I reselect everything and rearrange like this. So I'm going to bring it to this area like this. Then I will still increase the size like this. So I'm still going to increase it like this. Yeah, so maybe I should something like this will be fine. Okay, or let me make it like a little bit like this. Okay, so I think I can still remove this part. It's not really necessary. Then Ctrl X. So thereafter, I'm going to lock this as well. Then I will turn this on. So I'll turn this on. Then yes. So this part now, I'm just zooming out, so that I can use my pen tool to make the necessary adjustments like this. So after the whole thing, then you take it back to the initial stage, then you right click, make selection, okay, then Ctrl X, yes, fine. So exactly that's what I want. So I'm going to reduce this, I'm going to reduce this image size like so. Let's say something like this is fine. Something like this should be fine. So I'm going to reduce it to something like this. Let's say this is fine. So let's say this is fine. I can still move this down. Oh, it's locked, so it won't move. We are proceeding, and I want to make this tutorial very fast, so it won't really take much time. No much fancy stuffs. So the next thing, I'm going to turn this off so that I can do one or two manipulation around it. So now the manipulation is going to be that I'm going to duplicate this, then I will turn it off and come to this very one here. Then I'll go to filter, I'll go to blur, and I'll go to Gaussian blur. Then I will give it some sort of blur effect. Maybe this is fine, or this. Yeah, I think this is good. So the next thing I'm gonna do now is to turn this on and turn this on. Then I'm gonna take this like this. So the next thing I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna right click this, convert to smart object. So after I've converted to smart object, I'm going to erase some part off like this. Okay, this is too harsh. I'll come to this place and make sure that this is on 0%, the hardness is on 0%. Then I'll brush through like this, so I'll reduce and brush. So I'll reduce and brush and brush and brush and brush. Same thing goes to this side, brush. So all the whole back here I'm gonna brush through so that everything goes blur. Okay, so this I'm just gonna reduce the blurry effect like this. So I'm just gonna use my brush gently so that these edges I can have it like this. Good. So the next thing I want to do is I'm gonna lock this particular one. Then this I'm still gonna reduce it a bit. I'm gonna reduce it a bit like so. I think this is fine. Then I move it up a bit like so. Yeah, I think this does the magic. Somewhere around here will be fine. So the next thing, I'm gonna turn this on. Then I'm gonna move it somewhere around here and maybe still give it some little bit of height. Okay, something like this will be fine. Then I would move this down a bit, maybe something like this. Then increase this a little bit, something like this, so that it doesn't cover the whole top here. So now the next thing I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pick up. Okay, so I will turn this off, then I'll pick up a ray of light from this, maybe something like this. Probably I'll just make it a kind of orange like this, maybe move up a bit like this, hit OK, then creating the new layer. So hold my brush, increase the size, then just make a hit. I think I made something brighter like this. Yeah, I think this does better. So I'm gonna turn this on, then I'm gonna change this to screen. I'm gonna make it screen. So I'm gonna double click, I'll reduce it a bit like so. So I'm gonna do something like this, then maybe increase it a bit, hit OK. So now I'm going to come here, hit here, then I'll brush through. I'm just going to reduce the opacity, I'm going to reduce the flow so that It doesn't have much. Okay, I'll increase the opacity a bit so that it feathers everything alongside, and it doesn't have okay, I think this is okay. Now I did some little touching to the image, but unfortunately I no longer have camera raw. I don't know how it got to disappear, but I'm just gonna play a little bit with the image. Though it's a bit tough, but I'll just play a little bit with it, with the vibrance. I'll play a little bit with the vibrance, then I'll play a little bit with the, I think, the desaturation. So there's not much to do with it since I no longer have camera raw. But if you have camera raw, you can actually play with the dehaze and exposure. Just play around with all those things, and you have a good looking image. So I'm going to do the same thing to this. Come here, vibrance, give it a bit of vibrance, then I desaturate a little bit, and I think I have this. This is also okay. This is awesome. So since I don't have the whole camera raw stuff, it's a bit difficult for me to just do some touching the way I did exactly to the actual design. Okay, so yeah, so that's that about these. Now the next thing I'm gonna do now is just to type, which means we're almost done with this tutorial. Just to type, and the name is, so I'm just gonna click T. So if I hit T, then I click carries. After typing carries, I'm gonna hit, okay, so I'm gonna change it to orthograph, this particular one. I'm gonna turn this to lowercase, so I'm gonna increase the size to, let's see, maybe 120 or something. So this, I'm gonna lock it so that it doesn't move around. Then I drag this right below here. So I change the color to white. Change the color to white like this. So I have it like this. Yeah, and this is fine here. So the next thing I'm going to do is duplicate, then drag it up like this. Maybe somewhere around here will be fine.